Reutin.
And it looks like 52 degrees right now with cloudy skies outside the Carter Subaru studios in Seattle. I'm Lisa Brooks.
Listen on demand. Go to mynorthwest.com and click podcasts. KIRO Radio 97.3 FM with Tom and Curly now on your drive home.
Happy Friday, y'all. It's the G and Ursula Show. This hour of the show is brought to you by KIRO Title. Coming up next, in about 14 minutes, we're going to be taking your texts and your feedback and also words to live by. And Ursula, I always love when people come to visit the show, especially for the first time, from the Pierce County Sheriff's Department. Ed Troyer, you need no introduction, man.
Yeah, I've been hanging around here for a lot of years.
I know. And we are so excited that you are one of our first guests. That we've been doing the show now for just over a week, and we both, G and I, said we need to get Ed on the regular.
Well,
on the regular.
This first time I've been back since Ron and Don have gone. So
yeah.
First
so
time
we
back
want
in
to
the building.
change that. We want to change that.
All right.
And I've got to just tell you, and I've never had a chance to tell you this, I have worked in this business, as you know, for 30 years. I think most of them with you, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I want to just tell you that you do a tremendous job for Pierce County.
Well, you know, it helps when you have great people that do good work and keep me out of trouble, because this job would eat a lot of people alive and be very short-lived if you didn't have great people doing good things.
Exactly. But you are really, for us, like, you are at the pulse of that community, and I think for so many people, and I know that you are so appreciated. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, well, thanks for that, and I appreciate KIRO listeners
like
have done
I-5
so
are in
much
good
for us.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we had a little interruption there. Emery's doing traffic on another station. But I wanted to start off with, you guys have been busy out there in Pierce County, and like everywhere else with the flooding. What's going on over there?
Well, we have, and we're still doing rescues, and we've done a lot of rescues, and we've had a lot of roads wash out, and we had a lot of people trapped up in the Mount Rainier area in Ashford overnight, and some of them are still there because we have water and mudslides and logs over the roadways. We're using some of our specialty equipment to transport people out and help get medics in if they need medical aid. So there's a lot going on everywhere. There's just a lot of it. There's just so much going on in every jurisdiction. Everybody's just not seeing it all. We released some drone footage, and we released some photos on our Facebook page to show people what's happening. But we have a lot of people working. Our Swiftwater teams overnight, a lot of our divers, and everybody are out standing by to make sure we get through this and everybody's safe.
Are drivers doing a good job in staying out the way and not trying to drive through those areas?
Well, we're lucky enough to have something called big giant fir trees in the way that even if you did try and drive through, you're not going to make it. It's quite obvious you're not going to make it. Unlike some of the other things I've seen on television, we have drivers that have attempted, and that's why we had an upside-down car with somebody standing on it last night we had to rescue. But majority of the people can see that this is not passable, and on some of our worst spots.
And we've been talking about how bad this winter has been in terms of rain, where we've had twice the amount of rain in the month of January. I think we had a foot of rain, and we have had basically a stretch of 28 to 30 days straight of rain. Are you seeing that kind of play out on the roads now?
Well, we're seeing it everywhere. The ground's saturated and the water, and there's going to be all kinds of trouble and repair work and a lot of mitigation to do after this is over. So even when the water goes away, you're still going to need to be careful because everything isn't going to be the same as it was before all this water came.
Speaking of water or frozen water, what's up with the polar plunge that I've been seeing?
Yeah,
what's
it's the
going
polar
on with
plunge. Yeah, we have that tomorrow. It's for Special Olympics that fund it. There's over 2,000 law enforcement officers in the state of Washington that volunteer for Special Olympics. And law enforcement in general across the country is a big supporter of Special Olympics. Tomorrow we hope to have 400, 500 people down at Owens Beach in Tacoma to go jump in the water and raise some money for the Special Olympics program here in the state of Washington.
And you are one of those that's going to be jumping in the water. You got a team.
Well, one way or another, whether I go in off a fireboat, a dock, or pirates drag me in, I end up in the water. But, what's kind of fun about it is that we have teams, and we have a Crime Stoppers team. And unbelievably, we are in second place in the fundraising because you know what? The Niner Faithful out of Seattle are in first place. The 49ers Faithful come down. Niner Faithful. I was at their party a couple weeks ago, and they've raised $12,000. And we're telling Seahawks fans, we're not going to let this happen, right? And don't let the Niners Faithful beat us. But we really appreciate them. They come down in a large group, and they put a lot of money towards Special Olympics. And they come down for Toys for Tots and bring a ton of toys. So that's a very organized group in this area.
That's a call to action.
Yeah,
right?
That's a call
exactly,
to
right?
action.
That's like, how do we correct that? How can people help out?
Well, they can go to the Special Olympics page. They can go to my Facebook page. It's all over out there if you want to find it. And if you don't want to come jump in the water and raise money, you can sponsor one of us or sponsor our team. And let's see if we can get ahead of the Niners faithful and take that prize home. Right now we're in second place. And every
Cannot
time,
be.
Well, no, it is. Every time we seem to raise 500 or 1,000, they do too. They just stay ahead of us. So we're going to need a big
Well,
hit.
we'll put it on our G and Ursula Facebook page too, so that people can sign up and help you out there.
Right.
I want to ask you before we have another thing we want to talk to you about, but I want to ask you, you stay so busy. I don't know how you fit it all into a day. And, you are at the crime scenes. You are the voice of Pierce County Sheriff's Office, and you do these things on the set. Why do you do these things like the polar plunge?
Well, you know what's really good about law enforcement doing so much volunteer work, not just myself, but we have boards and civilians and many other law enforcement officers that do this because, we see the worst things in society. We also see the victims, and we also see people that need help. That's why we have Charlie's Dinosaur, and a lot of these other things that we do is to help the people that need help. A lot of times that when we do these fundraisers, there's a lot of people that benefit from what law enforcement officers do, including Seattle PD. Remember, they did the beds for kids, and I know a lot of Seattle cops that come out and do the exact same thing. And it's not just us wearing our uniforms and doing that. It's from the bottom of our hearts, and we want to help. That's why we go into this job, just like you guys go into this job, to help people.
It makes you emotional,
right?
Just talking about it.
Well, not only is it the bad stuff, but for all the bad stuff we see, the good stuff on the back end neutralizes it and equals it out. Remember when Charlie and Braden Powell were killed? Everybody remembers that story. Chuck Cox is part of our organization. He comes to most everything we do. I have lunch with him once every other month. So he's still close to what we do. And we've done so much good because of that tragedy. Obviously wish that tragedy never occurred, but a lot of good has come from that.
That is the voice of Ed Troyer from the Pierce County Sheriff's Department joining the G and Ursula show. I learned something from you recently, Ed, and I learned this month that there is something very addictive that is going to be hitting the streets. And we need to talk about this because it's going to be a problem. Right now, I know hopefully there's a plan in place because they're going to be going around and these Girl Scout cookies are going to be hitting the streets.
Yeah, I put that on our Facebook page.
Okay, you almost got me because I saw that. And I was like, oh, great, there's something else we could talk to Ed about. And I read through it. I was like, okay, wait, no.
so all those little Girl Scout cookie dealers, they're going to be in trouble. We'll send them to youth camp or summer camp or something, the ones that sell the most.
The Sheriff's Department would happily take it off everyone's hands,
we have
right?
a disposal spot at any of our precinct if you want to get rid of those Girl Scout cookies. We'll properly dispose of them.
What's your favorite, Ed? Them Thin Mints? You like them Thin Mints?
I've changed my diet in the last couple of years a lot, but you're right. A couple of those are pretty good. I do like the Thin Mints when they're frozen.
Yes.
They're good. They last longer, and they're kind of like a really good popsicle with a chocolate cover.
That's good. I want to ask you one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every police department basically is facing a shortage of officers, and Pierce County is not.
Well, we're not immune from it.
Yes,
One of the things the Pierce County Sheriff's Department does is run corrections, and our deputies are on the street. So our correctional deputies, we're trying to hire those, and we're also trying to hire street deputies. And one of the things I get to tell you guys today, this is the first time we've announced this, Sheriff gave me permission to do this right now, is that we're offering a $10,000 signing bonus to any police officers that want to lateral down to Pierce County and work for us. And we know there are a lot of police officers that live in Pierce County that work all over the state. Some of them even go across a mountain. Some of them, what's your drive worth to come to Seattle or King County, your 2-hour drive both ways? Your time's valuable. And one of the things about our department is we are not de-escalating and we are not de-policing, and we still use handcuffs when needed. We do have a lot of alternative programs, and our guys have big hearts. But at a certain point, at a certain time, our department and our county believes it's time to be held accountable, and our guys do that. And anybody that comes down to work for us will get to do that, get to do what they signed up to do. And, I know Seattle and King County are going to be a little off on this, but they tried the same thing. They tried the same thing 2 years ago, offering our guys money to leave. So we're doubling up on the $10,000. So any
Wow.
Seattle cops or
Okay,
anybody
this
up
is
north
effective now.
right now. Yep.
Wow. Thank you.
That's it. That's Ed Troyer.
Pierce County
Sounded-
Sheriff's Detective.
Sounding like Oprah Winfrey. You get 10,000. You get 10,000. Lateral move down to Pierce County. You get 10,000. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate
Thank you guys for having me up.
It's the G and Ursula Show. Coming up next, we take your feedback, your texts, and words to live by.
Enjoying G and Ursula but miss the Tom and Curly Show?
You can have both.
Listen to your favorite KIRO radio show